Alrighty guys, welcome. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down how you can get more leverage within your online coaching business so that you're not just in the trenches and just hitting these income ceilings. So let's just cut straight to this. I want to start off with a quote from Alex Hormozi. He says that leverage is the difference between what you put in and what you get out. Okay, so you can look at it like this graph here. This is like a risk reward asymmetrical leverage graph, right? And it's something can be high leverage or it can be low leverage. So if there is a lot of input and not a lot of output, then that is low leverage, right? If this was flipped like this, that would be extremely low leverage, right? So you want to have it so that it is low input, high output, like this. That is how you get leverage. It is the difference between what you put in and what you get out. This can be either good or bad. Now, Naval Ravikant, he has a concept in one of his books where he talks about the 4 types of leverage, right? We have labor, capital, code, and media. So if you understand this, now you can start to think about how you can outsource your time and energy so that you're not using your finite resources to progress, right? If that's the case, you're going to be capped. You're going to be capped by either how much energy you have, how much money you have, how much time you have. So you can use labor, capital, code, and media to create leverage. And I'm going to break this down to show you exactly how to do this, or like some ways that you can do this within your online information coaching business. So at the bottom here, we have labor. Now, within your coaching business, what you can do is outsource to things like accountants for managing money. Closers is a massive one, right? So people who are hopping on sales calls for you. At the start, you want to take control of the sales calls yourself, but once you get to the point where you have good on-tracks earnings and someone to come onto your team, you have the ability to have a closer that can do the sales for you. This is extremely high leverage, right? Instead of you being on all of the sales calls, these closers could be collecting $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 for you while you're focusing on something else. So I've just done this for one of our clients. I've implemented a closer into their business and he's collecting cash now and we don't have to be on sales calls. So this is such a great way to leverage your time. All right, there's a few more here. So business partners is also a great way. I'm in business with my girlfriend, which is great. I'm more on the marketing side of things with our clients. She's incredible at sales. So she helps with the sales side of things, doing all the scripting, training, everything like that. So having a business partner can really help with leverage. Now, there's a few more good ones here. CSMs. So CSMs are customer success managers. So once your team scales or your business scales, you can, and you have like a lot of clients that you can't manage yourself, having a CSM, a customer success manager, is someone who can basically deliver the results for you. Now, if we're just breaking down the 3 core parts of any business, you have marketing, sales, and delivery. So you can use these forms of leverage within each of those. Marketing, which I'll go into here, right? Sales, and then the delivery. Sales, for example, would be the closer or an appointment setter, which I'll bring up in a second. And delivery would be having a client success manager, right? And then outside of like those 3 core ones, there's like operations and finance and stuff like that, which is where you can leverage like accountants or things like that, right? But CSMs are a great way to leverage the delivery side of things to help people with getting results at scale so that they're not tied to your time or your input. All right, so we've got a few more here. Setters, so appointment setters, VAs, video editors, right? If you're editing your own videos, this is super low leverage. If you do have like motion graphics and stuff like that or fancy editing, I wouldn't recommend it just from what I've seen. I really like just native edits like on Instagram or just like a Loom video like this for YouTube. But like setters are a great way to outsource where you can have someone in your DMs or calling people to book in the appointments for the closer. And then you start to have a really well-oiled machine. So I've, again, implemented this for one of our clients. We've got a setter in the DMs. He's messaging people, he's having conversations, and he's booking calls, right? VAs can just basically handle all operations or technical challenges that happen where you don't have to go in and maybe fix the ads manager on the back end of Facebook, things like this, right? So that's how you can leverage labor. There's obviously more, but these were the core ones that I saw as an online info provider or coach. Now we have, what's the next one? Capital. So what you could have here is ads. Ads are a great way to leverage capital. If you can put in $1 into ads and get $2, $3, $4, $5 out at scale, then you have a money printing machine. So you have to have the capital to be able to run the ads, but then you use that money to make more money to then reinvest into ads. So this is where you start to compound and grow rapidly by leveraging advertisements. High caliber teams. So if you want to have A players or B plus players that you can turn into A players, they're not cheap. So you need to be able to spend money on them, whether it's like a copywriter or a media buyer, someone to manage the ads for you, or, whatever it may be, a creative director. You have to be able to have the capital if you're wanting to have a high quality team, right? If not, you still have to have capital to have like a VA, for example, right? So it's the same thing, using your money to make more money or to save time or energy. Software. So using software like a CRM or a website or tracking and automations, this is really important. Not everyone has the resources to just spend an abundance of money on software. But if you do, then it makes things a lot easier and you're able to leverage your time. You're able to make more money, especially like in the trackings and automation space, because you can see what's working and what's not. But if you don't have the capital to buy those tools, you're not going to be able to see it. It's going to cost you money, right? What else do we have here? Mentors. This is such a good one to use for capital. Massive, like super high leverage. I spent over $25,000 USD into a mentor. And that's paid itself immensely, right? Immeasurably. I've had many mentors. That was just one mentor, but you invest into a mentor to be able to shortcut the amount of time, energy, and course correction that it takes to learn a skill, right? You find someone who's in the position that you're in, you invest into them and leverage their skill set to shortcut how quickly you learn yours. This is such a high leverage thing to do. All right. Agencies. So if you're wanting to partner with a marketing company like myself, there's obviously an investment, right? So being able to have the resources to do that, again, to create more money and have someone who has the expertise in your corner to help you with making more money, but you first have to have the resources to make that happen. Deliverables. So this is where you can reinvest back into your service. So enhancing your service, maybe you have like some type of system that you could create or an app that you could create on the back end to help with the user experience or the customer experience on the back end. It could be that you then within your offer have some type of, let's say that you help people with creating content, then they have access to high quality video editors, right? To help with them leveraging. So that then enhances your deliverables of your program. So that's what it looks like in terms of the capital from Naval's triangle or pyramid here. Now we'll go up to, code. So what we have in code here is onboarding. So making sure that the onboarding process is super seamless with people that you are signing up, because the first touch point is the most important. So having forms or workflows that they can go through, getting them set up and running effortlessly is really important. Tracking on automations. So tracking tools, automations like Zapier, Make.com, having tools that help with automating things like maybe emails or SMS flows or sending the right data from a lead back to Meta. Having that all set up is really important. Otherwise, again, this stuff costs you money if you don't do it, if you're not tracking, if you don't have automations. So this is the tool, the software or the code, sorry. Payment processes, so Stripe, WAP, Fanbase, having partners like finance companies and partners. These are really important to have as well. Funnels and sites, so Go High Level, Card.io, having all of that set up. This is super high leverage. Once you set up a funnel and it's a silky smooth funnel, and you just set it up once, then it just brings in cash, right? It's aligning with the messaging's aligning with the target market. Everything's smooth. It's easy to follow. It loads quickly. There's nurturing. This is extremely high leverage. You just have to set it up once and it's done. All right, so that's it for code. Now we have media. So these are things like social media, of course, like me filming this right now is a form of leverage. I have to do it once, and who knows how many people will see this video, and it just plays over and over and over again. VSLs, and of course, like Instagram, TikTok, all LinkedIn, all the social media platforms as well. These are a form of leverage in terms of media, because you just do it once and it's out there and it can be watched over and over and over again. It doesn't require reoccurring effort. VSLs, so this is probably one of the highest leverage things that you can do, is have a refined VSL. When I write VSLs for my clients, I usually only have to do it once, and then they're set up and they're just pulling in calls just back to back to back to back to back, which is really fun to see, and it's super high leverage. All right, so course material, so having like a program that you have a step-by-step for people to follow, where they can just go through. Again, you just have to do it once. It's helping them with developing a skill or progressing without your time or effort input, right? So that's super high leverage as well. Podcast is high leverage because you can hop on a podcast. Again, it's like media where you do it once, but you're also expanding to other people's networks. So you're spreading like wildfire. So this is a super high leverage thing to do, where you can expand your network and have more leads coming through by collaborating with people who talk to a similar demographic. Internal training, so for example with the closers and the setters or the video editors or the CSMs, having internal training so that when there is onboarding for those type of people, they can get up and running quickly. These could just be Loom videos. It could also be SOPs, so standard operating procedures. I've got some for like DM messaging and how to message properly, and closing and objection handling. So having SOPs, which are basically just like step-by-step checklists for people to go through, super high leverage. Like you get to just do it once again and it makes a silky smooth operation. Ads in terms of media, really high leverage. Like you're using the social media, like the Facebook algorithm, to find and attract your dream clients. So ads could also be over in code as well, because of the algorithm itself, and leveraging the algorithm where it's targeting people that you're wanting to reach, right? So that is really helpful. And then what else do we have here? Pre-nurturing material. So these can be things like the thank you page. So after someone books, there's a thank you page around the roadmap of the program. There is emails going out, there's SMSs, and you have assets and resources to help with educating people before they hop on the call, or getting them to hop on the call, but also hopping on the call informed. So look at all of this, guys. Take a screenshot of this. These are ways that you can outsource and leverage your time so that you're not just in the trenches forever, right? These are ways that you can just save yourself the energy and the effort by using either other people, your money, or code and systems, or like media to save yourself. So yeah, guys, that was just something to break down just based off what I saw from Naval Ravikant's pyramid here. So hopefully this was valuable. If you're wanting support with growing like your online info coaching business, maybe implementing some of these systems, send me a DM, just send me grow on Instagram, and we can have a conversation. I've got a couple different offers that I do. One of them is a done for you, where I do everything for you to help you get to 50K plus per month. Or we could have like this done with you style offer where I can educate you on how to actually do this yourself to get up and running. So just DM me on Instagram, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks.